Welcome back to Team Fight Manager. We are on week 5 of the season. There are a total of 8 teams, and we have lost our first match. In the standings, the active Albatrosses and the Button Mashers continue to be the 1-2. But after our last loss, the Button Mashers are hurting in their sponsorship, and we are now in a situation where we have to play perfectly. We have to achieve a win streak of at least 4 in the regular season, which means we have to win all the way out to be able to earn the W. So let's go ahead and move on into round 5 here and see if we can take on the current opponent that is currently standing in the top 2 with us. As usual, the fighter and the swordsman will be the main focus for the Button Mashers. Now, with 1 loss for each team, this could be a major moment for not only us, but for them as well. We expect the best gameplay possible. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward. We have the fighter and swordsman mixed up. The Shrine Master, or Shrine Maiden, excuse me, is still a pretty important pickup for both of our teams. She has a 100% win rate due to us, and she's something that we need to consider in the future. Now, we do have first pick, and we want that swordsman, so what we're going to do is go ahead and ban out the ninja, which will leave us open for an archer pick if things do not go well. They actually take out the Shrine Maiden, and we're going to grab the swordsman. Ooh, they take the knight. Do we just want to grab the fighter and run them over? Do we take both the OPs here? I think we do. Let's grab them both. Alright, the opposing team will have a knight and archer, which are relatively strong, but I think we have the DPS. We have both of our players on their maximized characters, a 4 ranking for Uniboy and a 3 ranking for Puff. Looking into strategy, our ults could be used early. Let's go ahead and go for that strategy. The idea is we want to find a couple of kills and then run them down off spawn. We don't want to give any room for the archer to make any plays. Straight into the 2v2, and you will see our fighters running that front line. Now, the knight is tanky, but Puff is able to bring in some CC with a kick and push them away. The taunt comes out, but Uniboy does not mind too much as he slices up the archer. That's going to be a 2-0 so far against the active Albatrosses, but they are fighting back. Uniboy will ult, but is not able to actually land on 2 members. Puff does his own ult as well, but only for a 1 kill apiece for both of our ultimates is not the best call over for the Button Mashers. Godblack does have his ultimate, and he can use it to shred down his opponents, and he does it perfectly. It's going to give them a couple of kills. Puff runs in, goes for the kick, and goes straight for the knight. It's a 5-4 with 20 seconds. It's all about the war of attrition now. Fighter continues to punch away, but the knight is able to fight back, and things are looking rough for the Button Mashers. There goes a kick for the archer, and he finally will be taken down 7-5, and with 10 seconds counting, the active Albatrosses are trying to fight back. Puff is low on HP, so is Uniboy as well, but it does not matter. That's going to be a 9-6, 9-7, and the Button Mashers just narrowly pull it off despite landing subpar ultimates. I like to play swordsman next match. I'm pretty confident. So when this happens, this means that Uniboy will get additional stats if we are able to secure the Swordmaster. However, that will be difficult with the position that we are in. We'll do our best here. We take them both, and we run into the second match in this best of 3. What will the Albatrosses ban out? They elect to take away the Priestess. We will want to leave up the Swordsman and Fighter, as we want to have both those options available to us. So let's go ahead and continue banning out that ninja, as archer is always a great pickup. They take the swordsman away. Very, very expected there. Let's grab our fighter and see what they want to build up. They grab the archer themselves. Interesting play. Now, the knight is relatively tanky and can hold that front line, but the swordsman will cut him down real fast. I think we're going to match firepower with firepower and go with the Shrine Maiden. I think that's the best call here. We want to have some DPS in the background, and we want to keep that fighter alive. So, Shrine Maiden will be locked in. We debuted her a couple of weeks back. The only team to pick the Shrine Maiden so far. We throw her on the field, and Uniboy will be in the back. In terms of strategy, we want to have early ults. Although, a late ult might be worth it for us for the comeback. Just because we want that Shrine Maiden ultimate to allow for us to run them down. I'm going to go for it. We're going to go for a late ult. Alright, here we go. The Button Mashers are up 1-0. and they are looking to close this one out and prove that they are the team to contest here in the division. Fighter runs in, and those heals are just barely enough for Puff. As Puff continues to chase down the Archer, finds a kick. That's going to be a 2-0 so far. Uniboy just nailing these heals. Goes to go for a kite away, but this is where the Archer can be really strong. Puff comes out. Remember, his ultimate will be saved for the late game, 3-2. If we can interrupt the Archer's ult right in the middle of it, that would be a wonderful play for the button mashers. 4-2 is the score. The swordsman comes out, gets a couple of slashes, and that's the ultimate coming out from Key. Another ultimate available for the Swordmaster. We got to make sure we don't line up for that. Uniboy hanging out right behind Puff. Only one kill comes in. It's actually pretty huge. And finally, the Shrine will use her ultimate, and look, it continues to be out on the field despite her getting picked off. That's one of the strengths of having a healer in your composition. Puff comes out, gets up on Goldblick. It's a 7-6, and this is closer than you'd think it would be. 8-6, trying to go for that 9. Puff has his ability. He isn't able to get it off, and Uniboy is being chased down. It's actually a tie right now, 8-8. Puff comes in for a couple of kills. The first one to find a kill will get the win. Uniboy trying to heal, and just barely. The button mashers are gonna be able to earn the W over the active Albatrosses and move up in the standings. With it all said and done, the button mashers reclaim their first place and their first win, and the total of 4 wins they have to get on a streak for them to get their sponsorship. Will they be able to do it? We'll find out next week when we tune in. Thanks for watching. Welcome to week 6 of the Button Mashers as they continue to play in Teamfight Managers. In the standings, they are doing quite well. They are number 1 with 4 wins and 1 loss. We will be moving in against the Careful Cats and seeing what they can do, but I wanted to give you guys an upgrade on the stats so far. 100% win rate for the Shrine Maiden, but do remember we are the only ones that have picked her, and we have picked her in situations where she can excel. She is not one that we would just pull out randomly. Our team overall continues to get stronger and stronger as they continue to level up, but we are going to be getting to a point where we need to start thinking about upgrading our squad in the future, which we will be doing when we finish off our sponsorship, as we can improve the facility and start looking for better players. In fact, if I wanted to, I could start recruiting now by searching, and let's go ahead and do it. We'll just see who's available. It'll take a couple of weeks to see if we can find a player that is recruited. It did cost me 10 gold, which isn't too much, but I do need to keep an eye on that. For now, let's move forward to the stadium as we face off against the Careful Cats. And here we go. It appears that we will be the red team this time, so we'll be going for a second pick. Still sticking with Uniboy and Puff, as the fighter and swordsman are the main focus for everyone involved. What will be the first ban coming in for the blue team? The swordsman has been taken out, which leaves up the fighter. They do have first pick, so what we're going to do is challenge them to consider picking up the monk or the fighter or the knight. We'll take out the monk so they have no frontline available aside from that. They pick up the ninja. Interesting. I'm going to pick up the fighter. Ooh, did they just outdraft me? Shrine Maiden would be okay against the ninja, but if I pick the fighter here, they can take away the knight, which gives them a strong front line. Pretty decent damage. Ooh, this is an interesting one. We're going to pick up the fighter, because statistically, he's pretty strong. They grab the knight, and now we have to figure out what we want to pick up. I think we're going to go with the archer. The archer gets a little bit of mobility and can handle the ninja. We also have them skilled out pretty well. If we switch these two, we have the warrior on the fighter, and then Uniboy will be playing the archer. Now, in terms of ultimates, I think I want to go for an early ult. I want to shut down that ninja, especially when he's able to use his clones, which is his ultimate ability. And we want to be able to make sure that the fighter is able to run up on them as needed. All right, here we go. Round number 1. Right away, you'll see the ninja run in. After his death, he will spawn and jump on the backline of my archer, but this is where her passive ability comes in and is really effective. She's able to jump away and slow down the opponent. The problem is she actually used her ability on the knight, and the knight was able to help find a kill, and Uniboy actually puts out a Luckluster ult, which is a reoccurring theme for him in this playthrough. The knight also hits a taunt on top of the archer, and things are suddenly looking really scary for the button mashers. Remember, they need to get a total of 4 wins total in order for them to get their sponsorship. They go up in kills 5-5 here. Here is the clone ult coming out from the ninja as he tries to chase down that archer. Archer also gets taunted too, which means she's going to use her ability. 6-6, and we are going down to the wire here. Puff is able to find a little bit of damage on his opponent. Knight finally cleans that up, and the numbers are just getting too darn low. Finally, the button matchers are able to clean it up and put themselves in an 8-8 tie. They will be able to turn around and try to jump on top of that Ninja. 9-9 so far. Here comes the damage. Puff trying his best. First one to die is going to be the winner for the match, and it looks like the Careful Cats are able to go up 1-0. Uniboy and his lackluster ults wind up costing the team again. This happened in week number 4 for the button mashers. With which mentality are we going to play in the next match? I say we want to be aggressive. We know we are great on the offensive. Defense-wise, we have been pretty lackluster. Let's see if we can get a better draft for us. Swordsman is going to be the main focus. For now, we're going to take out the Ninja, and it's been probably the scariest thing that we've had to face in most of our matchups. They take away the Monk, we'll grab the Swordsman right away. The Fighter is up for them to grab, but they decide to go for the Archer. We'll take the Fighter ourselves. And so far, our draft is looking much better. They'll have the Knight, but I do believe we can run them over. We're going to go for early ultimates again. Let's go ahead and slug that in. And we will now begin the face-off. Button mashers need this win. They run straight on in. The Swordsman will be the one that's going to cut down that Ninja. Or excuse me, that Warrior with the opportunity that presents itself. Puff finds a kick on top of the Archer as well. 2-0, but they are low on HP. If they can find another kill here, or at least do a decent amount of damage, that would be helpful. Big ultimate comes in, only hits a Knight, and another ultimate comes in from Uniboy, and they finally find themselves in a spot where they slice up the competition. They go up to 4-2, but Eloise is not here to play around either. Finds her own ultimates. Now this is where Chavi can be quite strong. Uses the Aegis, provides a nice defense to the team. Puff steps up, attempts to lock down this Eloise, but Eloise is able to sneak on out there with a beautiful kite. 6-5, and the Careful Cats are looking really strong here. Could they go up 2-0 over the button mashers? Button mashers trying to fight back. They get the Knight nice and low. Swordsmaster finally finds that kill. 7-7 is tied. The taunt comes out the last second. Can they find the kill? 8-7, and they go straight into overtime. Puff steps up, tries to get some forward focus over here. The overtime continues to take down, and it looks like the Careful Cats are able to shut down the button mashers as they lose to 9-8. A 2-0 victory for the Careful Cats, and the button mashers have lost their sponsorship opportunity for this season. But can they pull out the rest? We will have to find out in the future. Ultimates continue to be a major issue for the button mashers, and they may need to do something in the facility to get it all figured out. We'll see you guys next time for the next match, as the button mashers continue to hold the first spot. But they are truly being crept on by the opposing teams.